Hi, everyone, and thanks for joining us today. Our webinar will begin in just a moment, but we wanted to share this video of Yi from China sharing her cultural exchange experiences. So here is her story.
My name is Yi. I'm from Jiangsu province and I teach Chinese in high school in Gastonia. I think probably a lot of people will think Chinese people, they are kind of shy. So compared with a lot of Chinese people, I feel like I'm more adventurous and independent. And I like to experience new cultures. Teaching in the United States just makes me feel like I'm more international than before because I meet new friends from all over the world. Some students, they told me they never had the chance to talk with a native speaker from China, so I hope my teaching and my presence in the school district and in the community can really help them to know real Chinese culture. Besides teaching them Chinese language, I teach them to make Chinese food, and also I had a chance to invite some other artists from China to share Chinese culture with my students. Before I came to United States, I did not really expect that the biggest challenge to teaching in the United States is to manage the students. Classroom management in China is kind of easier because parents will think teachers are there to help their kids to be successful. So they will say, hey, just be tough on our kids. Here, more like a student-centered classroom. Students here are more active. They like to express themselves. So when I go back to China, I want to share with my Chinese students and Chinese parents this part. I want them to be more independent and more open-minded and to know what's going on in the society. It's not just like a school life, you just need to work on your courses, but also you need to think about the future. To teach in the United States is not just challenge. Actually, you can enjoy a different life every day. And as we all know, United States is the strongest country in the world. I feel it's really an honor for me, and also it's a very pleasant journey for me to teach and to live in the United States. And I would say I really thank EPI and all the friends or people who helped me to get the chance to work in the United States and to teach in the United States. Thank you.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to our webinar, How the EPI Process Works. My name is Jessica, and I am the Content Coordinator for Educational Partners International. I am from the mountains of North Carolina, and before working for EPI, I taught English at the community college level. Today, I'll be talking with you about what you can expect from our program from when you begin your application to when you come to the United States. We also want you to take this opportunity to ask any questions that you have about our process. You can ask them in the comment box and we will answer them throughout the presentation today. Keep in mind that we won't be able to answer questions about your specific application for privacy reasons. All of those should be emailed to team@teachwithepi.com. Today, we will be explaining EPI's program and give you an overview of everything from the application to becoming a cultural ambassador. By the end of this presentation, you will have a better understanding of each step of the process. If you're joining us for the first time, we are Educational Partners International, or EPI for short, and we are a cultural exchange program that brings international teachers to teach in K 12 schools in the United States. Our mission is to bring some of the best teachers from around the world to the U.S. to share their cultural experiences. As you can read here, our goal is to strengthen K 12 education by discovering and empowering the world's best international teachers to facilitate authentic cultural exchange. While we work with schools across the southern United States, our home office is in the mountains of North Carolina, which you can see in the photo on your screen. We would love to know where you are from too, so please take the time to tell us in the comments. And wherever you are joining us from, thank you so much for watching. The EPI process is made up of these 6 steps. First, you fill out an application to determine program eligibility. Then your application is moved to the approved stage and you become eligible for school interviews. After completing a successful school interview, you become placed in a U.S. school. You then prepare for arrival and orientation in the United States and become an EPI program member. You will spend 3 years in the USA as an EPI teacher, then you will return home to become a cultural ambassador. The first step in the EPI process is the application. EPI's application is thorough and it does a few important things for you. First, filling out the application creates a professional profile for schools to look at when they are considering teachers for interviews. We also use the information you provide to decide whether or not you meet our eligibility requirements. Some of the requirements for being an EPI teacher are that you are currently teaching, you have 2 years full-time teaching experience, and you have the equivalent of a U.S. bachelor's degree. EPI's application helps you collect the documents that you will need to apply for a visa, travel to the United States, and obtain a teaching license. You will also have 2 online interviews with EPI team members. The EPI team will ask you questions about your experience, classroom management, and lesson planning, as well as other topics that prove your eligibility and qualifications. After the interviews, you will be asked to provide proof of employment and credentials. Once you have uploaded all of your documents and passed 2 EPI interviews, you are moved to the approved stage. Being in the approved stage means that your application with EPI is complete, you have passed a background check, you meet our requirements, and you are now eligible for school interviews. Once you become an approved candidate, your application becomes a professional profile that is available to U.S. schools. They will look through the applications of all of our teachers in the approved stage to choose which ones to interview over a video call. If the interview goes well and the school is interested in working with you, you will then be placed. Placement means that you have accepted an offer from a school and will be coming to the USA to teach. Teachers who are placed through EPI teach in public, private, and charter schools in North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, and Florida. As soon as you arrive in the United States, you will participate in EPI's orientation. During this time, you will learn more about life and education in the USA, as well as the rules and regulations of the Exchange Visitor Program. Our orientation lasts several days, giving you lots of time to ask questions and prepare for the upcoming school year. After you complete orientation, you become an official EPI program member. As an EPI program member, you will teach in the U.S. for 3 years. During that time, you will have access to 24/7 support from our trained and professional support team. The relationship between you and the support team is an important one and will continue throughout your time as an EPI teacher. Members of the support team will be able to assist you with any challenge from culture shock to meeting the needs of struggling learners. Another key resource our support team will provide you is Launch Your Classroom. Launch Your Classroom is an EPI created professional development program for teachers that includes videos, books, a website, and one on one coaching with an instructional specialist. We cover everything from classroom management and student engagement to lesson planning and classroom activities. As an EPI teacher, you will have free access to all of our professional development resources. At EPI, we understand that American students need the international perspective that teachers like you bring, and we are dedicated to doing all we can to help you deliver it. As an EPI teacher, you will also have the opportunity to share your culture with your students here in the United States through cultural exchange projects. Today, we have a couple of examples of the projects our teachers have done in the past. Students in Andrea's Spanish immersion class wrote letters in Spanish to students in her home country, Colombia. After exchanging letters, the US and Colombian students were able to meet each other over Skype and talk about their cultures. Sasha and Silvana were awarded a grant to create a multicultural space in their school's cafeteria. With the grant, they hung the flags of 21 different nations in the space. They also hung clocks set to the time zones of the countries. After teaching in the United States for 3 years with EPI, you will then return to your home country where you will be able to become a cultural ambassador. After you return, you will be able to share what you have learned about the US with people in your home country, just like you shared your culture while you were here. This is one of the most important steps in the whole process because this is what cultural exchange is all about, building mutual understanding between cultures by sharing your personal experiences. Okay, now we will be taking the time to address questions. If you have not submitted yours yet, please ask them now. We will be answering all of your questions in the comments section today. Here are some of the most common questions that we get at EPI. Lots of applicants want to know how long the EPI program is, and we are a 3 year program. People also ask, is there an application fee? The answer is no, there is no application or placement fee. There are other costs associated with your application, such as obtaining your diploma or transcripts, but EPI will never charge you an application or a placement fee. Another question we often get is there an age limit? So, no, there is no age limit. As long as you meet our basic requirements, you can join the EPI program regardless of your age. Some of those requirements are that you are currently teaching with at least 2 years full time teaching experience, you have the equivalent of a US bachelor's degree, and you have advanced English skills. We also have some other questions that have been on our applicants' minds more recently. Most people want to know, is EPI still accepting applications? So, yes, EPI is continuing to accept and process applications. You can apply by visiting our website, teachwithepi.com. For more information about what our application process looks like at this time, please email our admissions team at team@teachwithepi.com. Another question that applicants have is, can I put my application on hold? And yes, you are able to start your application and later put it on hold if you need to. There is no obligation to continue once you have started. You can then choose to resume your application at a time that is better for you and your personal situation. Finally, our applicants have been wondering, how does EPI support teachers during times of uncertainty or emergencies? We always prioritize the safety of our program members and provide support for any situations that may arise while they're in the United States. For example, since the outbreak of COVID-19, we have been monitoring the situation, providing detailed guidance for our teachers, and operating at a normal capacity so that we can be available for all of our program members. So, now that you know more about our program, it is time to talk about next steps. First, if you have not applied yet, go to teachwithepi.com and start your application. Once you are on our website, you click the Apply button and answer the eligibility question. Then you will be able to make an account with your email address and begin the application process. If you've started your application but have questions, please email us at team@teachwithepi.com. To end today's presentation, I would like to share this quote that illustrates the importance of an international education. J. William Fulbright was a U.S. Senator and founder of the Fulbright Program. He said, "There's a multiplier effect in international education, and it carries the possibility, the only real possibility, of changing our manner of thinking about the world and therefore of changing the world." Here at EPI, we understand how important it is to provide students with a global perspective, and we are so excited to give both you and those students the opportunity to experience authentic cultural exchange. That's all for today, everyone. If you're interested in our upcoming webinars, go to teachwithepi.com/webinars and sign up for our mailing list. Also, be sure to follow us on Facebook to hear about our upcoming events as well as to hear more from our current teachers. If you have any more questions, please email us at team@teachwithepi.com. On behalf of everyone at EPI, thanks for joining us and have a great day.